G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel on this beautiful day. How are we all going? It's your boy. And mate, I thought we'd get out and do something nice, randy and dandy. Gotta be careful of these cars turning out here. If you're new around the channel, kids, I try and post every 3-ish days. So do leave a like, comment and a sub if you would. It always helps out your boy. But I have a nice topic today, so I got inspired by another YouTuber. Now, I know that a lot of people will consider Yummy Noob to be a bit of the armpit of the motorcycle YouTube space, which is fine, but that's not what I'm about. I got inspired mainly because he did a video with a Ferrari, and it made me think, do fast cars get ruined by, bikes? Now, I'm not talking about the whole thing about a fast car, just certain aspects of it, alright? Now, if you want a supercar or something like that, not because it's fast, but because of its, the craftsmanship, even though some of them are built like garbage, or the heritage, the looks, that's different, alright? You can't beat that if that's what you're after. I'm talking about raw performance, alright? Now, motorbikes will absolutely shred and devour and all hopes and sense of your sense of speed, okay? And I mean that. A slow bike will still be faster than most cars on the road. And I mean that pretty seriously, man. And I mean that literally, because most cars get up to a 0 to 60 in, what, like 8 seconds or some stupidly, slow speed. And most bikes will get there in, I don't know, like 4 seconds at the slow point. Some bikes with smaller engines obviously a bit slower than that, but I'm talking about your average size bikes, and then you get your leader bikes with 600s, which blow past those numbers. So your sense of speed while riding a bike gets absolutely demolished, and that's the point I'm talking about. Do bikes ruin your sense of speed in a car? I'm going to be that weird one and say not entirely. Now, going fast on a bike is exhilarating, there's risk, the adrenaline's much higher, but I actually feel more stable going fast on a bike than I do going fast in a car, man. Even a bike that's not got aerodynamics, like I've gone pretty fast in an old Ford Falcon, and that thing was floating all over the place when I did that way back when, and it was terrifying. Now, going the same speed on the bike, it didn't feel scary, mainly because it was planted. Now, if you have a supercar that's planted at that speed, I'd imagine it would still feel different, but I'm talking this one right here. And I tell you, going fast on a bike, it's a whole different sense of speed. The first few times you go even the speed limit on a bike, you will damn near shit your dacks, mate, because you'll be like, oh boy, this fast, all right, this bitch goes zooming. And then you look down, you're doing like 40 Ks. It's really funny. And I mean that seriously. Like, everyone who does their learner course tends to say the same thing. They go, whoa, we're going fast. You're like, no, we're in a 40 zone, calm down. You go, what? No way, we're doing 40, mate. We are flying. So that's something you got to be aware of. But when you go fast in a car, right, there's a certain different feeling, because yes, you're in a protected metal box, but it's I don't know, a bike is more visceral, but a car just seems more terrifying personally. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I'm so comfortable on a bike now, but when you're going fast in a car and things, you feel it slipping, especially when you go around bends, you feel the rear end slip a little bit. Now, when you're on a bike, you feel the rear end slip. It usually feels a lot worse, but you don't tend to get to that point. But when you're in a car, the whole thing feels like you're on the edge, you're about to lose it. Now it's a whole different level of fear. Sure, it's a different level of skill, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the raw experience. And the fear that comes with the car about to lose control, to me, makes the car a certain level of different and enjoyable, all right? So it's not scary in a sense, but I find it more, quote-unquote, scarier than a bike at speed. Now, obviously, if you're buying a supercar, if you have the money for one, like I saw this guy bought like an $800,000 Ferrari F8 just yesterday. If that's what you're after for speed, I'm sorry. If you have a motorbike, especially one of those leader bikes, look, what a legend. Well, I'm gonna stop here. I don't care about that bloody people that did a legend, but mate, man's did a madness and run the red. If you're buying a supercar for purely just like speed, you're going to just be disappointed if you come from like the faster sports bike category. Even like an R7, MT-07, that small category will still be fast, all right, compared to those. Now I know what you're going to say. Nathan, you're only riding a Honda Rebel. It's only a 471cc. It's got 46-ish horsepower and bugger all Newton meters torque. You don't know what you're talking about. Mate, I advise you to shut the hell up and learn, because most bikes, even mine, will beat 90% of the cars that are trying to drag you on the road. And I raced Jason and his Turbo FG before he changed the turbo to a much bigger, sexier turbo. And I kept up with it up until a certain speed once the Rebel sort of runs out of oomph. So believe me, you're still going faster than most of those things. Look at this. People do that in Australia. They move over for you. Such lovely people. There's an abnormal amount of traffic for a Saturday, I tell you. But man, supercars, if you're only after speed, why spend all that money? Obviously you buy supercars because it's beautiful, status, people look at you and you get jealous. But, you know, bikes bring anonymity and just instant, like, acceleration. Like, you will feel fast and awesome in a race car, but yeah, you'll also blow the budget when you can spend a tenth of the price in some cases on a bike that'll smash the supercar in a line. And I'm not talking by a little bit, like, I am talking smash. Now, if you've after pure speed, you could buy a Ninja H2. Now look, it's just a fast boy bike, but you can spend 45 grand on that, or you can spend $800,000 on a Ferrari, and guess which one's going to beat it in a race? It ain't going to be the Ferrari. Now you might go, oh, that's a bit ridiculous, not everyone's going to buy a H2. And good, they shouldn't. Not everyone deserves a H2, or can handle a H2, or wants a H2. Your average cruiser's probably going to take off just as fast. Man, those talky boys, then they'll lose in the long run, but they're not slow off the initial takeoff, man. So, I think it's a little bit more situational. Some people will agree, some people not. I'm going to hit you with play the devil's advocate and say it won't ruin the experience of a faster car. Mainly because I find the experience of going faster in a car vastly different than going fast on a bike. On a bike, you're there, it's raw, the adrenaline, you get the wind, you get everything, especially if you're on a naked bike or like my bike. You feel the wind a lot more. When you're in a car, you hear the wind. And when you hear the wind in a car, you're like, oh, we're boogieing now, we're hitting some speeds. And that's when it's like, oh yeah, we out here. And it's a whole different level of fun. And honestly, I reckon that's the way to go. But alas, I'm not in a position to have a supercar. And if I could afford one, I probably still wouldn't buy one as of now. I'd rather buy a nice old muscle car. That's more a priority on the list to me. But I'm sure if I was stupendously rich, well, you got to have at least one. But that's what I'm talking. I'd rather have an RSV4 or something, man. That visceral acceleration where you feel your arms rip off your sockets, essentially. That's what I want. I want that. But until those days come when I can enjoy my own personal one, because the only time I've really experienced a faster bike is when I rode Hughes MT-09, which is not a slow boy. But man, I think it's best to have one of each. Enjoy the fast car and enjoy a faster bike. Look at that little thing over there. So, yeah. That's just my thoughts and opinions, ladies and gents. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments. I'm always here for them. Hopefully we get a few more nice sunny days, get some good riding and get some videos done. But until then, take it easy, keep it cheesy, have a good day. Peace, man!